If you all can see me and hear me, please type hi or good evening in the chat box so that I know you can see me and hear me. If you all can see me and hear me, please type hi in the chat box. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much for participating. I'll start sharing my screen. If you can see my screen, please type SS in chat box. SS means screen shared. So if you can see my screen, please type SS in chat box. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. So today we are going to talk about five steps to diabetes management. Now, I'll check. Okay. Now, do you all feel it's important to learn diabetes self-management? If you feel it is important to learn diabetes self-management, I want you to type DSM in chat box. DSM stands for diabetes self-management. So if you feel it's important to learn diabetes self-management, type DSM in chat box. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, do you feel that diabetes has so many aspects to take care of? We have to not only take care of our health, we have to take care of the exercise, the food we eat. What about the comorbidities? Comorbidities matlab kidney or some other health problem, heart problem. What about other things? So do you feel diabetes has many aspects to take care of? If you feel, I want you to write MA in chat box. MA means many aspects. Type MA in chat box. If you feel that diabetes has many aspects to take care of. Great, wonderful. Now, first of all, I want to thank each one of you for being here. Thank you so much. Anybody who comes here to take care of their diabetes, it means a lot to me because I am trying to make sure that people in India take care of their diabetes. And India, India is called the capital of diabetes right now. I don't want India to be called as capital of diabetes. I want Indians to be known as more proactive when taking care of their diabetes. So when you are here, you are helping me support my mission. Thank you so much. Now, there are three values that are very important to me. So whenever I talk about diabetes management, there are three things that are core to my heart. That means that whatever I tell you, it has to be sustainable. Yani ki, we all have heard about fad diets, right? Do keto diet, go for low carb diet, do some other small time diet. I don't want to do that diets. I want whatever I tell you, it has to be sustainable. Second, whatever I tell you, it has to be fun. I don't want to take fun out of your life. I want you to enjoy your parties. I want you to go out. I want you to have your drinks. It should be fun. And last but not the least, it should keep you away from complications and give you results. Yani ki, whatever we do, it should be sustainable. It should be fun. It should keep you away from complications and give you result. How many of you believe that these three things are important to you also? That whatever we do to manage our diabetes, it should be sustainable, fun, keep you away from complications and give you result. If you feel it should be important to you, I want you to write SFCR in chat box. Write SFCR. S stands for sustainable, F stands for fun, C stands for keeping you away from complications, and R stands for it should give you result. Wonderful. I can see so many SFCRs. Great people. Now, quickly, I'll tell you, there will be no recordings. The webinar is for 45 minutes. I want you to take a lot of notes. And I will be taking question and answers in the end of the session so that we can stay with the flow of the session. Now, before we start, let's understand who you are. Are you a guardian to a diabetic or you are a diabetic yourself? Please, if you can tell me quickly in the chat box, are you a guardian to a diabetic or a diabetic yourself? Quickly, just type if you're a... Oh, great. Wonderful, Pawan. Others, quickly. Okay, guardian. Great. Okay, just a quick question. Okay, gestational diabetes, wonderful. When you write diabetes or guardian, can you write the type of the diabetes if you know? If you know, like somebody has written gestational diabetes, that's a wonderful answer. Others, if you know the type, okay, I see type 1 here. Okay. And if you don't know the type, okay, type 2 also, great, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. Can I share about myself? If you all allow me to share about myself, please type allow in chat box. I'm sorry, dear, I don't know Tamil. I only know English and Hindi. It's okay, Shafi. If you don't know the types, it's okay. Insulin dependent and non-dependent. Okay, that is also a good way to tell. So please let me allow to tell about myself. I'm an ex-advocate. I was an advocate by profession. I am type 1 diabetic from 2007. I have mentored 500 plus diabetic, type 1, type 2 gestational on lifestyle management, and I have got wonderful results with them. I'm working with different doctors across India. I have studied 20 plus books and done 5 plus courses on diabetes management. These are few of the books you will see on diabetes that I have read, and I'm proud about reading all these books. So, how my journey started? I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and hypothyroidism at the age of 15. It was just 1 month before my class 10th board when I was diagnosed. After that, I was not able to manage my diabetes and I used to change doctors after doctors. I tried all kind of quacks. I have tried Ayurveda, acupressure, naturopathy, you name it, I have tried it. Nothing worked. 2014, my diabetes was declared as brittle and I was put on insulin pump. Brittle means the diabetes which cannot be controlled by the medical care. But people think that after being put on insulin, my diabetes was controlled. However, my blood graph shows Himalayas. It was always high, low, high, low. I was constantly hungry. Hungry is a very funny word we use in diabetes. Hungry means I was either hungry or angry. Anybody who has diabetes and can relate to it, you are either hungry or angry. If you can relate to it, please type me in chat box. If you can relate to it, please type me in chat box. Great, wonderful. My A1C was constantly between 8 to 11. I was always tired. I became overweight. I attracted acid reflux, water retention, and PCOS. And then this is my HbA1c. I don't blame the doctors now. I know why my HbA1c was high. Then in 2017, I met a mentor. And my mentor said that, Mehak, the problem is you are not taking care of your diabetes on your own. You are always looking at other people to help you. You are going to doctors, you are going to naturopathy, you are going to acupressure, acupuncture, whatever. But what about self-management? And I said that in India, whatever doctor says, that's what we do. We don't do self-management. He said, why don't you pick up a book and read? I am an advocate by profession and you gave me a science book to read. It was horrific. I said, I don't know how to read these terms. He said, okay, I'll help you. He is a retired army officer. He mentored me into reading those books. And today I can read any book on diabetes. Post reading and studying, I started doing courses. And you want to see what happened? My HbA1c. This is my last 2 years HbA1c with the highest going 6.4 and lowest as 5.8. My doctors were very happy and they told me that, Mehak, whatever you did is wonderful. It's time to mentor people. I left my career, came here and started mentoring people on diabetes management. And this is me. I have been addressing different occasions. So this was DTechCon, that is Diabetes Tech Conference in India, where I have addressed audience on technology and type 1 diabetes. This is RSSDI, which is biggest diabetes conference in entire India, where I have talked about exercise and diabetes. And the third photo you see is TIE UP Conclave. Here I have talked about again technology and diabetes. So I have got this honor to speak on multiple forums. This entire journey has put me on a mission to empower diabetic individuals to embrace self-management and live fulfilling lives. For me, the most important thing was self-management and fulfilling lives. I cannot compromise on these two things. How many of you feel that you also want to believe in self-management and fulfilling lives? If you do, please write SM in chat box. SM means self-management. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, the problem was there is so much of information on internet, but there was no structured knowledge. Somebody saying eat Karela juice, take Karela juice. Somebody saying eat jamun beets. Somebody saying fennel seeds. Somebody saying methi seeds. What should one do? There is no structured knowledge. How many of you feel there is no structured knowledge? If you feel there is no structured knowledge, type NSK in chat box. Type NSK. Great. Thank you so much. How many of you can say, I have tried yoga, I have tried Baba Ramdev, I have tried all these Karela juices, Jamun Vij, I have tried everything, but nothing is working. If you can say, please type me in chat box. If you have tried all these quacks, type me in chat box. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for being honest. Now, when I was studying and I was told that, okay, now it's time that you go and address people. I said that, okay, I can address, but there is no structured knowledge. So my mentor said that, Mehak, why don't you create a structure around this knowledge? And that put me on in a thought that, okay, it's time to create a structure so that I can tell people, okay, you follow these things and diabetes will be taken care of. So I started creating the structure. Okay, Shafi, Jamun will work or not work? Let me answer this in the end. Remind me in the end, I'll come back to you. Okay? Now, what I did was I created a structure, and my structure is known as faith model of diabetes management. Now, do you know the meaning of faith? I want to know, do you know the meaning of faith in your language? What does faith means to you? What is the meaning of faith? Believe, true, okay. Wonderful. Others, what does faith mean to you? Let's take a minute to think about faith. Something it means to you. Is it important to you? It's belief, confidence in the person, trust, wonderful, great. Faith was the most important thing to me. It is not only to believe in the system or in the person, it is to believe in myself and in the system that I created. So it was first myself. So, but here faith was an acronym, and F stands for food and water. That means in diabetes, we have to take care of food and water. Second, activity and sleep. A stands for activity and sleep. I stands for insulin. Insulin doesn't mean the insulin we take from outside, insulin that the body produces also. We need to take care of that insulin. And T stands for technology. H stands for happiness. That is mindset, the stress you all have. How many of you believe that if we can take care of these 5 things, that is food and water, activity and sleep, insulin, technology, and happiness, we'll be able to take care of diabetes? If you think, then please type faith in chat box. I want you to type faith in chat box if you believe that these 5 things can be taken care of. Shafi, I'll answer all these questions in the end. That's my promise. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, so like Shafi, I believe all of you have lot of questions to ask. I want you to take a paper and on that paper type parking lot. Park all your questions there. I am here, and trust me, after I complete the session, I'll make sure no question goes unanswered. I don't want anybody of you to go home and think, how will I do it? I'll make sure every question is unanswered, every question is answered, and even if it is type 1, I'll tell you I'm type 1 myself. So your question will be answered. If you're saying pancreas are not producing insulin, I'll answer that. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, when I was working on the faith model, the point came, one of the doctors said that technology is the most important thing. And I was thinking whether technology is the most important thing or food is the most important thing. While I was planning this, something struck my mind and it told me that the most important thing is happiness. So I reversed the faith model and I started working on happiness first, technology second, insulin and insulin in your body third, activity and sleep fourth, food and water the last. Now, how many of you believe that happiness is the most important thing? If you believe happiness is the most important thing, please type HAPPY in chat box. I want to see all happiness in the chat box. Type HAPPY. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. I see some less happiness. There are 82 people. There should be enough happiness in the chat box so that each one of us can take back home. Wonderful, great. Amazing, amazing. Great. Thank you so much, everybody. So I reversed the faith model and we started working with happiness first. Now, I'll talk about happiness with all of you. Now, what came in happiness? Happiness was first acceptance, that is, accepting your condition. Second, burnout. I'll be explaining all of this in detail later. First, we'll go through the concept. Burnout means we do tend to get tired. When we are diagnosed with a disease, we tend to get tired. Third, social stigma, people judging you. Oh, so small, diabetes हो गई, इतनी छोटी एज में diabetes हो गई, क्या खाता है जो डायबिटीज हो गई, वेट बढ़ गया इसलिए डायबिटीज हो गई. We go through all of this social stigma. And then handling bad days. There are days you don't feel like getting up, your sugars are very high, you don't know how to deal with it. And last but not the least, fear of hypoglycemia. So I'll be talking about all of this. Now, first of all, let's talk about acceptance. Peace and Tavalam. I'll try to speak in English. There are times I tend to go towards Hindi, but I'll be sticking to English only. So let's talk about acceptance first. Now, there are some people here who are dealing with diabetes. Can you all tell me, have you accepted your diabetes? If you feel that you have accepted your diabetes, type ACC. And if you feel you have not accepted your diabetes, type NA in chat box. ACC for accepted and NA for not accepted. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I used to feel I have accepted my diabetes. And once I was eating out with my senior, and my senior would always opt for the healthiest food. He will order salad for himself, fruit bowl for himself, and I would order burger, pizza. And one day I told him, why do you always eat so healthy? He said, because I want to stay healthy. I said, see, I didn't do anything. I got diabetes at the age of 15 years. You have one life. Why don't you enjoy? Just eat whatever you want to eat. Don't restrict yourself. And he said that, Mehak, the problem is you have not accepted your diabetes. I said, what do you mean I've not accepted my diabetes? I do everything that doctor is saying. I'm taking my insulins on time. I'm taking my medications on time. I'm exercising. What else should I do? And he said, the problem is you have given up on life, that, okay, we will live till we have it. Acceptance means knowing you have a condition and then proactively working on it so that you can improvise it and get better result. He shared something with me which I want to share with all of you. And this is called the prayer of wisdom, which changed my life. The prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Can I change? Why did I got diabetes? Why God me? Why is the pharma industry selling insulin? Why is government not doing anything about diabetes in India? I cannot do anything about that. So serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I cannot change. God, why me? God, why this pharma industry is making money out of me? Why doctors are charging money from me? I cannot change that. So I accepted that. Courage to change the things I can. What I can change? My HbA1c, my exercises, the food I eat, my results, my health. So I started working on that. So I changed my focus inside onto things I can change, and wisdom to know the difference. So when Virat Kohli is playing the cricket, everybody knows how to play that ball except for Virat Kohli. Everybody will tell, oh, no, 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 that ball was for the six, six, six. But Virat, how did you get out? Because the player, everybody's focus is on him. Nobody's focus is on themselves. So similarly, in life, we are so focused on blaming that we forget what we can do when it comes to our disease. So all you had to do was change the things you can. So I realized I can change myself and I started working on it and it gave me wonderful result. How many of you feel this prayer is powerful? If you feel it is powerful, please type PWFL in chat box and I'll tell you a story. Please type PWFL in chat box and I'll tell you a story. Quickly. Great. Thank you so much. Now I'll tell you a quick story. There was a girl who was diagnosed with cancer. This girl was diagnosed with cancer and her uncle came to meet her. Her uncle asked, dear daughter, you have been diagnosed with cancer. I want to ask you, do you take responsibility of your cancer? And the girl was like shocked. She said, uncle, how can you blame me for cancer? I didn't do anything to cause it to me. Why are you asking me to take responsibility for it? And uncle said, dear, I'm not blaming you for cancer. I'm asking, do you take responsibility for your cancer? And the girl asked again, what do you mean by responsibility? And he said, responsibility is not blame. It is your ability to respond to the situation. So, what had to happen to you has happened. Now, how you respond to you describes your life further. So, do you take responsibility of your cancer? And the girl said, yes, I take responsibility of my cancer. Similarly, I want to ask each one of you here today, do you take responsibility of your diabetes? If you all take responsibility, type yes. If you still feel no, I cannot take responsibility, or I'm not ready to take responsibility, type NR, and I would be happy to know. I'm grateful to see all the yes, but if there is anybody who's not happy or not ready, type NR. Let's face the truth. I don't want anybody to go home with like, no, I'm not ready. I want you to face it here. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. So now let's talk about burnout. You know, I was somebody who would not check her sugars for entire week. And I was in the condition that I get tired. Why do I need to take care of everything? Why do I need to take insulin 6 times a day? Why do I need to do all these things? But I heard one person saying there are things in life you need to do for your well-being. Keep doing them till it becomes your habit. Still keep doing them till you fall in love with it. And then once you fall in love with it, you'll not stop doing it. That is what diabetes care became for me. Once I started doing it, I kept doing it till it became my habit. And now I love taking care of myself and my body. I feel so good when I get my report, when everybody appreciates, when I'm being called to teach people that what I did. I love learning it. So the burnout went out because I changed my mindset towards it. And that's what we all need to do. Now let's talk about social stigma. How many of you feel there is social stigma around diabetes? If you feel there is social stigma, type SS in chat box. If you feel there is social stigma around diabetes, type SS in chat box. Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Can I share something honestly with you? Can I share something honestly with you? If yes, type yes in chat box. The root cause of social stigma lies in everybody's home. Let me repeat. The root cause of social stigma lies in everybody's home. What do I mean or why I'm saying that? Every time we tell somebody, don't tell anybody you have diabetes. Why? What's the need to hide? Is it a crime? What do we hide? Okay, if your child scores full, you tell everybody in the society, hey, my child has stood first, my child has stood first. And if the child fails, you tell the child, no, no, don't tell anybody you have not scored well. Why? And similarly, you feel ashamed. That's why you tell everybody, no? Tell the child, no, no, don't tell anybody. Every time you try to hide, you are telling the person with diabetes something about you is wrong or something about you is to be ashamed of. Stop hiding it. What I tell people is, when I got diabetes, I had a different way of dealing with it. What I tell people, who have you seen somebody who wears the crown? Anybody you know who wears the crown? Do you know who wears the crown? Type in chat box who wears the crown. King, queen, prince, princess, right? Perfect. The person who is either elected to take responsibility or who has inherited the responsibility. The person who has either been elected to take the responsibility or the person who has inherited the responsibility. Similarly, in case of diabetes, either the universe, the God has selected you with that responsibility to send some message across, or you have inherited it. One of the two things has happened. Now, in case you have been elected, what you need to do? You need to make it your power and not your weakness. And in case if you have inherited it, you need to stop the cycle so that your future generation doesn't inherit it. And it will not happen if we make it a social stigma. It will happen only when we start standing against it. I tell people openly that I have diabetes. Out of the 93 people I know, I don't know anybody, but I am very happy sharing with you people that I have diabetes because I am not ashamed of it. And I'll tell you a beautiful story of a girl from a small town in India came to me. She had diabetes and she said, nobody wants to marry me because I have diabetes. I said, just tell your parents to give me 1 year. For 1 year, I mentored her. I just taught her about diabetes and how to manage it. The confidence of the girl improved so much that she said, okay, diabetes I can take care of. Next time, after almost 8 months, a boy's family came to see her and she said, I have diabetes, but all these I know and I can take care of it. Diabetes is not a problem in my life. Today, this girl married a non-diabetic and the in-laws are so happy, irrespective of the girl having diabetes, because they saw the girl having such amazing confidence that they felt diabetes is not a problem. It is just something that is inside this girl, which she can manage beautifully. So your confidence and your approach to diabetes changed it so much that people are even comfortable marrying a diabetic. Just change the way you look at it. Now, handling bad days. You know what is the problem with the bad days? The guilt trip we give to ourselves. So, bad days, what are bad days? The day you eat outside and you suddenly check your sugar. Oh, I should have not eaten that chola bhatura. I should have not eaten that rasgulla. Why? You felt like eating, you ate it. Instead of saying, oh, I should have not eaten it and going on that guilt trip, the way I prefer saying is, okay, I was not able to manage it this time. I'll eat it next time and manage it better. Maybe like I'll ask my educator or my doctor, how should I manage it? Why should I restrict myself? Where will the fun go out of my life? We have to keep fun intact. So every time you take your bad day as a guilt trip, will the guilt help you increase your sugar or decrease your sugar? Will the guilt help you increase your sugar or decrease your sugar? I am feeling guilty. I am feeling sorry. I am feeling stressed. Now, what will happen to my sugar? Put in chat box. It will increase. And now, next time I'm doing it, I'll just say, okay, I was not able to manage it this time. I'll manage better next time. Your mind, your body suddenly relaxes. There is no stress there. You are like, okay, stop punishing yourself. And suddenly you will see, okay, your body is also adjusting. I tell people, I'll try to show you the chart if possible. Somebody asked me, I'm visiting Delhi. I want to eat chola bhatura. I said, oh, go ahead, eat chola bhatura. And she said, what should I do? I told her how to take her insulin. And my entire community stand with the same motto, eat and enjoy. And we manage it. Entire community's HbA1c is below 7.5. Why? Because of the perspective we have towards diabetes. Now, fear of hypoglycemia. This is my favorite topic. So first I'll tell you the meaning of hypoglycemia. We have fear that our sugars will go low. And that is why we keep eating after every 2 hours. How many of you believe that diabetics should not stay hungry and should eat after every 2 hours? If you believe, type me in chat box. How many of you have seen that ad by digestive biscuit? A diabetic should eat every 2 hours. Nobody? I won't believe that. It's okay if you have not seen that, but you might have heard that diabetics should eat every 2 hours. That's the biggest lie about diabetes. The moment you start eating every 2 hours, you are worsening your diabetes. Because every time we eat, our body pushes for the need of insulin. And if you have type 1 diabetes, your body is not producing insulin. If you have type 2 diabetes, your pancreas are weak, and every time you are eating after 2 hours, every 2 hours, the pancreas go into pressure. You have gestational diabetes, You need insulin. So we, instead of putting pressure, don't eat every 2 hours. Okay. K. Karthik Kumar, patient needs to eat only when sugar is low, not every 2 hours. And sugars don't go low every 2 hours. If sugars are going low every 2 hours, that means you are overeating your medication. A diabetes medication should not put you in hypo after every 2 hours. So I want to tell you, you can eat when your sugars are low. You should not eat every 2 hours. So we have, unfortunately, this biscuit industry, digestive biscuit industry, thought how should we sell our biscuits, and they found a very good gap. The diabetic should eat every 2 hours. So every 2 hours a diabetic is opening a Mary biscuit. This biscuit has maida. This biscuit has all kind of refined flour, sorry, refined oil. This biscuit has all kind of refined sugar, but we are eating it. Why? Because a diabetic should eat every 2 hours. A diabetic should not eat every 2 hours. We need to understand what our body is saying. If you're a type 1, your body is not producing insulin. If you're a type 2, that means the pancreas that are already weak, you are putting pressure on them. They need to rest between the meals. Instead of putting pressure, let them rest. So, forget this fear that your sugars will go low if you don't eat. And if your sugars are actually going low by not eating, ask your doctor to reduce your medication. We are very happy. Pop that pill, eat whatever you want. That's not the way. So, how many of you understood about happiness? If you all understood about all these mental aspects, please type MA in chat box. These all are the things that are related to our mind. They fool our mind. Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Now I'll talk about next topic, that is technology. Why am I talking about technology? I'm not going to talk. They will lose their business. Navamani, very true. Now let's talk about technology in diabetes industry. Technology is booming in diabetes industry right now, and this technology is coming with lot of good things for us, which I want to share with all of you. So I'll start with health apps. I want all of you to use health apps. Any health app. I don't tell me food apps. Don't tell me Zomato and Swiggy. Tell me health apps. Any health app that you are using. Any health app that you are using. Healthify Me. Okay. No. Google Fit. Okay, great. No. Okay. So few Apple Health. Okay, great. Wonderful. Samsung Health. Okay. Wonderful. So what are the certain health apps that everybody should use? First health app, period tracker for females. A must app, especially if you have diabetes. A period tracker is a must for females if you have diabetes. Second, any food app to track your calories and your carbohydrate, protein, and fat separately, and your glycemic index. All these three things impact your diabetes. So I'll repeat. Food app for calories. Calories impact your weight and impact your diabetes. Second, it impacts your carbohydrate, protein, and fat, which all impacts your body's insulin resistance and sugars. And then the last is glycemic index. Glycemic index impacts how the food will raise your sugar. All these apps should be used. Free apps are Healthify Me, Chronometer. Otherwise, you can simply Google it. But please, before eating, check the glycemic index of the meal. It will tell you, okay, how early this food will raise your sugars. Very important thing is to use health app. Again, I'm telling, please use health app and not the food app. People will be like, oh, we use Swiggy and Zomato. That's a food app, not a health app. Glycemic index, Google will only tell. Glycemic index, as of now, there is no app. So only Google will tell. But Healthify Me is a good app. Chronometer is a much better app. Unfortunately, Chronometer doesn't support lot of Indian food, but I love that app as a recipe maker. I personally try to do it on my own. But I still recommend people who cannot do their on their own to use these health apps. Now, next is monitoring your sugars using glucose monitor. How many of you monitor your sugar regularly? When I say regularly, that is minimum 2 to 3 times in a day. If you do it, type me. If you don't do it, type NM. NM is not me. How many of you monitor your glucose at least 2 to 3 times a day? Thank you so much, everybody, for being honest. Glucose monitor, such a small device, is so magical. It can prevent you from all your kidney and heart diseases, kidney, eyes, and heart diseases. And it costs you nothing. 1000 rupees investment, 10 rupees is the cost of the strip. If you buy 100 strips together, check it 3 times a day, put it in a logbook. Logbook is basically maintain a notebook or an app. So there is called diabetes M tracker app or diabetes tracker app. Just put your readings in the app and you will get a beautiful data. I'll show you how you get the data and how it helps you. So these apps are again beautiful to help you know how your sugars are going. Only 3 punches a day. I do 6 to 8 punches a day because I say that I am crazy when it comes to management. But, and trust me, I take care of type 1 diabetics where my client age starts from 6 months. I am mentoring children from the age of 6 months to any 45 years old. We puncture 6 to 8 times a day. So as an adult, 3 times a day is nothing. Please do it. It will give you beautiful result. I'll show you the result that I'm looking for. Okay. Next is insulin delivery. So all those who are on insulin, there is something called as insulin pump. The problem is people are scared of insulin delivery, not because insulin is unsafe. Insulin is the safest drug available on entire earth. Even a woman is pregnant, she is told to stop medication and put on insulin. So all the things you have heard about insulin being unsafe, insulin causes damage to kidney, liver, they are all not true. Insulin is the safest drug available in the entire world. The only problem with insulin is that you have to prick every time. So when you prick, that is causing the mental blockage. So there is a device called insulin delivery pump, which you have to change after every 5 days. It makes giving insulin very easy. If anybody who's on insulin and can afford it, they should definitely try this. We are now coming up with Indian insulin delivery pump also. Not me, I am not coming. IIT is coming with it. So once they come with it, the price will drop drastically. Type 1, type 2 gestational diabetes must use. Why I'm saying must use? Gestational diabetes, it simplifies the life. Type 1 simplifies the life. Type 2, only when you are on insulin. I don't want your diabetes to be ignored. I want you to be more careful now. So that is why where I recommend that if you can afford, go on insulin delivery devices. Now coming to CGMs. CGMs are called continuous glucose monitor. Has anybody of you see the Healthify Me app where they put that sticker here and ask you to scan it? If you have seen, please type me in chat box. If you have seen that new device, famous, where people put a scanner here and they ask you to scan it, that is called continuous glucose monitor. This device is magical. If you come to me, I'll ask you to put it for 14 days. The cost of the device is 2500 rupees, works with phone with NFC only. But the data it will give you will change your mind and help you manage your diabetes. Do you want to see the report of how that device shows you the report? If you want to see the report, type SEE in chat box. So I'll show you one good report and one bad report. See, this is my entire report from that device. You see, now what does this report says? You don't have to read it. I'll just take you here. You see, this day 24th was a good day. all the yellow signs means sugar was high, all the red sign means sugar was low. That means I was not taking care of my diabetes then. It is 2019 report. All my sugars were high. And then slowly I was learning to take care of them. So this is the report. Now I'll show you one more report, which was comparatively a good report if I can find one. Okay, it was a better control then. I can study day wise. So when I ask anybody to go on CGM, I say I want to study day wise, that what happened on that day, what food did you eat, what didn't suit your body. Now we can take out this data so easily. So this device is called as Abbott Libre Pro. Abbott Libre Pro. Abbott Libre Pro is the device which comes for 2500. Okay. Now we'll go back to the PPT again. Now, why did I ask you to go for technology? If technology can help you prevent future problems like kidney disease or retina disease, is technology good or bad? If technology can help prevent future kidney diseases and retina disease, is technology good or bad? What we think we'll not go on technology right now. Why? We think it's money, but we don't understand how much money we are saving. Didn't we all shift from those landlines to mobile phones? Why did we do that? Because of the comfort it has provided. We all shifted from the desktop to laptop. Why did we do it? Because the comfort it has provided. But when it comes to technology, we think, oh, a device will be on my hand every day. Everybody will see it. It's the comfort. You don't have to prick every time somebody shared 3 punches a day. There is no punches. 14 days you have this device on. And this 14, after 14 days, it will give you beautiful data about what happened with you. So everything is there in your phone and you can check anytime. So please, 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 if you can use these devices, use it. If you have any type of diabetes at your home, once in every 3 months, ask them to use this device. Monitoring CGMs. This is called continuous glucose monitor. As of now in India, it is available at two prices, 2500 and 5000 rupees. I'm not the seller. I can connect you with the seller. I'm not the seller. The brand name is Libre, Abbott Libre. Libre is 5000 and Libre Pro is 2500. Libre Pro is 2500. Okay. Now, what happens when you go on technology? Your sugars stay in range. Okay. Now, can I share my another screen and show you something else? If you all allow me, I want to share my another screen and show you something else. Okay. Again, type of diabetes doesn't matter. I want you all to see it and tell me your understanding. So, are you all listening to me? If you're listening to me and you allow me, please type ALLOW allow in chat box so that I know you are listening to me. Okay, give us a minute. It's sharing. Great. I see people are listening. Wonderful. Just give us a minute. My iPad screen is sharing in a minute. Okay, now it's shared. You all can see my iPad screen. If you all can see, please type SEE in chat box. Great, thank you. So let's take, there is person A, okay? This person's sugar graph is like this. And there is person B and it is his sugar graph. So the good range of sugar is 70 till 180 for diabetic. 70 to 180 for diabetic. I'm not saying about non-diabetic. I'm talking about diabetic here. So 70 to 180 is good range of sugar for diabetic. And it is 250 and then above. Again, the same for person B. How many of you know what is HbA1c? If you know HbA1c, can anyone tell me what is the good HbA1c? Anybody who can answer what is good HbA1c? Okay. I don't want to know the non-diabetic HbA1c. Tell me diabetic HbA1c. Okay. Everybody said below, one person said less than 6.5, 6 to 6.2. So diabetic HbA1c, a good HbA1c is clinically told to be less than 7.5. So anything that is less than 7.5 is considered as a good HbA1c. 6.56 is a perfect HbA1c for a diabetic. If you can maintain that, that's beautiful. HbA1c is average 3 months glucose. Okay. So let's see what happened in person A's life. Person A's sugars used to go like this. So we decided to get the HbA1c done. This was his graph. When we got the HbA1c done, it came as an average. Average was here. And now average came out to be 6.2. Is it a good HbA1c or bad? Average came out to be 6.2. Is it a good HbA1c or bad? Wonderful. Great. Now came person B. Person B's graph was like this. When we got his HbA1c done, it was again here. And HbA1c was 6.2. Now, is person A better or B? Person A better or B? Why is B better? Both have same HbA1c. The CGM allowed us to see that A has good HbA1c, but he has so many hypoglycemia, low sugars, and so many high sugars also. That means glucose variability was there. The glucose was different at different times. And in case of person A, we saw HbA1c is same, but the glucose stability was there. He was mostly in particular range, that is healthy range. His sugars were in healthy range. So, if you want to stay healthy, which one should we follow, A or B? B, exactly. So, we all have to follow the sugar chart of B, that is called time in range. We have to see how much is our time in range. And for that, CGM is one method. Then we have different clinical methods, which I have taken out for my team. Now, your time in range should be more than 75%. Your time in range should be more than 75%. If your time in range is more than 75%, any kind of diabetes, you will not have retinopathy. Eyes will not go bad. You will not have retinopathy if your time in range is more than 75%. You will not have microalbuminuria. It is kidney disease. You will not have kidney disease if your time in range is 75%. Now, if your time in range is not 75%, that means two things are happening. Can I share those two things? If yes, type yes in chat box. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. First, either your body is not producing insulin. Second, your body is producing insulin, but you are not absorbing that insulin. That is called insulin resistance. So for type 1, your body is not producing insulin. That's a different way of treating it. For type 2 and gestational diabetes, your body is producing insulin, but it is not fully absorbing insulin. Now, how do you cure that? That's a different method. I cannot share it in detail. Okay. MD Fasi Siddiqui, time in ranges, the time your sugars are between 70 to 180. How much percentage of the time your sugars are between 70 to 180 is your time in range? It has to be more than 75%. So, if you're not in 75% of the range, two things are happening. First, either your body is not producing insulin, that is type 1 diabetes, or LADA, or some other diabetes. In type 2 diabetes or gestational diabetes, your body is going through insulin resistance. Now, do you want to know what is insulin resistance? If you want to know what is insulin resistance, type IR in chat box. Great, wonderful. So I'll stop my screen share and I'll put myself. All of you can see me, okay? Okay, I'll be quick here and I'll share what is insulin resistance. So see, when we are eating something, the food goes to stomach, gets digested, and then some of the glucose, the nutrients go to liver. Liver stores some of the glucose for the emergency use, and rest of the glucose it sends into blood. When it sends the glucose into the blood, the glucose goes to your cells and it says, knock, knock, do you need energy? The cells say, yes, I need energy. So glucose, it says, but to open the door, you need to get the key, and the key is insulin. So insulin will come, open the cell, and glucose will go inside your cell. Now, in case of insulin resistance, when we put the insulin in, we realize inside it is all rusted. It is not opening. So more insulin is required. More insulin is required. It takes a lot of insulin for it to open. Now imagine your pancreas, which was to make only certain amount of insulin, the body is pressurizing. I need more insulin, more insulin, more insulin. Now what will happen to these pancreas? When you put pressure on somebody, what happens? What happens when we put pressure on somebody? It gets damaged, and that is why type 2 also end up on insulin, because we are putting all the time the pressure, pressure, pressure. Okay? Yes, K. Karthik Kumar, you are correct. It is good to test at least 6 times a day. You can change the needles. Okay? Now quickly, I'll be completing rest of the things in 5 minutes, because I want to answer your question. I'll take only 2 minutes more because I want to answer your questions also. And I believe you also want to ask a lot of questions. So I'll just take 2 more minutes and we'll talk about food. Okay? Food is the most important thing. What should we eat? What should we not eat? What I want all of you to understand is there is a concept called pattern eating. Remember, we all had studied in science called purification, where you had to layer, you have to take a jar and we used to put charcoal, sand, then gravel stone, some other kind of stone, and we used to put water through it and the water used to come purified. Similarly, we'll do layering in our stomach. How we do this layering? First, we take apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar helps your body absorb your insulin better. How do you take apple cider vinegar? 1 spoon of apple cider vinegar in 1 glass of water to be taken with straw. Then you eat salad. Fiber creates your first layer. Second, you eat protein. Protein in the form of your chicken, egg, paneer, cottage cheese, tofu, soya. That creates your second layer. And then you eat your carbs, your whatever meal, Indian meal, you can be from the south, you can be from the north, your parathas or your dosas, whatever it is, then you eat your meal. And as soon as you eat your meal, you go for a walk. The moment you go for a walk, all the extra glucose burns. Follow the simple method of pattern eating and you can eat your sweet or burger or pizza also, and your body will respond beautifully to it. Now, do you think it was easy? Pattern eating is easy. If you feel it is easy, please type easy in chat box. Pattern eating is easy or not? Great. Thank you so much. So now exactly at 5:55, I'll be taking your leave here and passing it over so that we can take the questions. But before that, I want to understand how many of you like that we should manage our diabetes? How many of you believe we should manage our diabetes? If you believe we should manage, type manage. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, team, you will be taking the questions or should I take it on my own?
If you want, I can read out the questions for you.
Okay, either ways is perfect for me. Okay, guys. So I know there is a lot of things to learn, and I also have a lot of things to cover, but we have very less time. Team will be sharing some of my credentials. You can connect with me later. I'll be happy to answer about these things, but now it's time to take the questions. So I see one question was there by somebody, Ravi Sai Kumar, which says that my uncle got tested for sugar yesterday and he got a reading of 230 at the age of 50 plus. May I know if he needs to follow any food diet or control any kind of food to keep count in controls? Only thing he needs to eat less is sugar and manage the pattern eating. Ask him to follow pattern eating. Okay. Uh, Pre-diabetes is when your body is starting to show insulin resistance, but it is not completely there at this particular time. Eat healthy, eat more vegetables to support your body. Fenugreek seed, any kind of seed. Somebody asked about jamun seed also earlier. These are support. They cannot cure your diabetes because resistance hai. There is a layer, so there is a layer which cannot be cured just by eating these things. You need to manage other things also that prevents from diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is not curable in any part of the world. And I'll not fool anybody that you can get rid of it over a period of time. I am type 1 diabetic from 17 years and I completed my 17 years yesterday itself. It cannot be cured. Sugars will not control just by eating fenugreek. Fat person consuming more oil is good. Anybody, whether fat or not fat, 50 grams of oil or fat in entire day should be consumed. 50 grams of fat, including your nuts, oil, butter, everything. At the age of 33, sugar level is below 200. They need to take medication. At the age of 33, if the sugar level is below 200, they need to follow this faith model: food, exercise, water intake. Try to follow all these things. Apple cider vinegar only helps you increase your insulin absorption. It is not a cure for diabetes. Okay? No. If HbA1c is below 6, doesn't mean diabetes is cured. There is no cure. The word is remission. If any company comes and tells you that we will cure your diabetes, they are just taking your money. Diabetes cannot be cured. You can only go in remission. Remission means till you follow a certain kind of diet, your HbA1c will come to a certain level. So there is no cure. It is perfectly okay to adjust the insulin and eat whatever you like, provided your weight is not increasing and your insulin dosage is not more than your weight. Perfect, Suresh. If you're not diabetic, that's the best thing. Please eat lot of fruits and vegetables. Never go for more processed food. Refined and processed are ruling the industry. We all want an easy food. We want to have packed food. We want to have something on go. Let's not forget our old tradition of eating the cooked regular food. Eat more of your fruits and vegetables. C-peptide test suggests how much of your pancreas are producing insulin. So if your C-peptide is low, that means your pancreas are not producing enough insulin. I personally don't take any kind of dairy or suggest any kind of dairy because I have seen that these days dairy is all not very healthy. The injections they put to all these hormonal injections they give to the cows and other things for the dairy. I personally don't support dairy in any form in my diet for diabetes. Now, in case if you're really fond of dairy, I will say stop taking milk. Take only paneer or cottage cheese or your yogurt. That's it. Avoid direct taking milk. You should take at least 1 spoon apple cider vinegar in 1 glass water per day. You can take it at least 3 times a day. Age is no bar. Any age can take it. Cardio exercise on regular basis will delay, definitely any kind of exercise will delay type 2 diabetes. Now it's 6 o'clock. We are done with the entire 1 hour of session. Supplement will not help. And thank you so much, everybody. I'll put my email ID for all of you to connect with me, if that is okay with the team.
Yeah, sure. If it's
Or
okay, I'll put your number as well.
yeah, you can put my number or my Instagram account would be much better.
Okay, so I'll just put your email ID in the chat box. Yeah, it's done. Okay. Okay, so I'll share your Insta ID in the feedback email as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mehak. It was a wonderful session. It was very interesting and we really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful
Thank
having
you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
audience.
Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.